Welcome to this explainer. Look, we all know how absolutely crucial these activity reports are for documenting your community work. But let's be totally honest for a second. Fighting with stubborn text boxes, watching Microsoft Word completely crash because you added way too many high-res images, and spending hours manually nudging photos just a millimeter to the left, it's frustrating, right? And worse, it eats up precious hours that you could be spending on the actual work you do. Well, today we are going to change that entirely. We're going to learn how to effortlessly transform your activity reports into the standardized master's format using Claude AI.
If you've ever found formatting presentations manually to be just a tedious, soul-crushing chore, you are going to absolutely love this simple, foolproof, three-step recipe. Imagine taking a messy document of raw notes and just a massive, disorganized folder of photos, and in a fraction of the time, having a perfectly aligned, beautifully structured presentation totally ready to go. That is the true power of using AI as your personal design assistant, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how to set it up right now.
We're going to treat this whole process exactly like a cooking show. First, gathering the ingredients. Second, the smart oven. And finally, plating the dish.
All right, let's jump straight into phase one, gathering the ingredients and getting our prep done.
To make this recipe actually work, your Word document needs a really specific, strict structure. This is your core ingredient, and it absolutely needs three distinct parts. First, the basic information block. This is mandatory. You need the presenter's name, crucially including your Dharma name right there in parentheses, followed by the date, region, location, and the specific activity, like a winter distribution or a home visit. Second, you just paste in your complete activity report text. No fancy formatting needed here at all. Just dump the raw text in. And third, insert your activity photos directly into this exact same Word document. Keeping all of this combined in one single file is what makes this entire workflow so incredibly efficient. Now, when you're adding those photos into the Word document, you want to keep your total count right in the sweet spot, which is between 20 and 60 photos. Honestly, 60 is definitely the suggested maximum, so the AI doesn't get overwhelmed and just freeze up on you. And here is the absolute best part. No captions are needed. Just drop the raw photos in. Claude is going to handle all the heavy lifting of figuring out how to lay them out beautifully in the final presentation, completely saving you from that tedious caption-aligning nightmare. Quick pro tip for you here. We've all experienced that sheer panic of a massive file failing to upload after waiting like 20 minutes, right? Well, if you drop 60 high-res photos into a Word document, it's going to be gigantic. So always use Microsoft Word's built-in Compress Pictures function before you save it. It drastically reduces the file size without compromising the display quality you need for a presentation. This just ensures your document actually uploads to Claude smoothly and quickly.
So, your second ingredient? It's basically the magic spell. Along with your Word document, you need the instruction file. Always download the absolute latest version of the Markdown instruction file. Currently, that's version 3.4.md. This file contains all the specific coding and layout rules that tell the AI exactly how to format your text and photos into the master's format. And don't worry, you don't need to know a single thing about coding. Just grab it fresh via the one-click download before you start, and you're good to go.
Moving right along to the fun part, phase 2, the smart oven, generating with Claude.
This is where the magic happens, and the process honestly could not be simpler. Step 1. Log into Claude. We highly recommend using either Claude Fable 4.8 or the newer Claude 5. Step 2. Upload both of your ingredients, the Word document and that .md instruction file, at the exact same time right into the chat box. Step 3. Just press Generate. That is it. You don't need to write out some long, complex prompt trying to explain what you want because all those instructions are already baked inside that Markdown file. Claude will just automatically begin building your presentation.
So, how long does this baking process actually take? Well, if you're using Claude Fable 4.8, you're looking at about a 30-minute wait. But upgrading to the newer Claude 5 cuts that almost in half, bringing it down to just 10 to 20 minutes. But honestly, either way, the true beauty of this system is that it's completely passive time. You don't have to sit there staring at a loading bar. You can just walk away, grab a cup of coffee, or finally catch up on some emails while the AI carefully cooks your presentation for you.
Oh, a quick heads up so you aren't caught off guard. Don't panic if Claude pauses during the generation process to ask you this exact question. Would you like to use the master's format presentation template? If that pops up, it's literally just the AI double-checking its instructions. Simply click yes or type use it and let the AI get right back to finishing its job.
Ding! The timer has gone off and your AI has finished cooking. Let's move into our final phase, plating the dish. Review, download, and rename.
The hard work is over, now it's just about the finishing touches.
When it's done, Claude is going to display the full presentation right there on the right side of your screen. This gives you the perfect opportunity to run through a super quick 4-point quality control checklist before you even hit download. Just scroll through and ask yourself, is the overall formatting correct? Did it use the standard fonts? Is the layout completely finished or did it randomly cut off early? And finally, are there any misaligned images or broken text boxes? Just take 2 minutes to verify this, and you will save yourself a massive headache later.
Now, if you do spot any layout bugs during your quality check, don't panic, and definitely, whatever you do not start fixing them manually. Just type this simple direct command back to Claude. Please fix the formatting errors. The AI is incredibly smart. It'll review its own work, find exactly where the text overflowed or the image overlapped, and it can usually correct its own mistakes instantly. It just regenerates that specific slide perfectly without you lifting a finger.
Okay, so everything looks flawless and you hit download. You've got your PowerPoint file, but the job isn't quite done yet. You absolutely must rename the file, the original Word document, and the whole project folder using this exact standard naming formula: year, month, day, presenter, region, location, and activity. Why are we so incredibly strict about this? Because standardizing this data turns a chaotic, totally unsearchable hard drive into a perfectly organized archive. It makes future searches an absolute breeze for anyone in the organization. Let's look at that formula in practice. Notice how this file name seamlessly ties the date, June 30th, 2026, the presenter, Wong Q-yu, and the specific details, Ladysmith, Msicheni, Winter Distribution, into one unified project name. If you use this identical name for the PowerPoint file, the Word document, and the folder that holds them all, you will never, ever lose track of an activity report again.
Finally, just as a last visual check, open up your shiny new presentation and look at the very first slide. Check that your main title matches this clean, simple 3-part structure: region, location, activity. Just like Ladysmith, Msicheni, Winter Distribution. It strips away all the unnecessary clutter and gives your audience exactly what they need to see in a professional, standardized way from the very first second.
And there you have it. By simply gathering your basic text and photos into a single Word doc, uploading it alongside the latest Markdown instructions, and letting Claude bake it to perfection, you've completely bypassed hours of formatting frustration. With this consistent and empowering automated recipe mastered, you really have to ask yourself, what incredible, impactful organizational work are you going to tackle next with all your newly saved time? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy generating!